welcome to Hang Out with Janelle, and today I got Callie and Emily from Slam Up in Teaneck, New Jersey, hanging out with me. Say hi, ladies.
Hi.
I met these ladies when they were performing in Minneapolis, and I knew they were awesome because they started with Salt and Peppa. So I immediately loved them, and the performance was awesome. It was hilarious, but it kind of stirred my soul a little bit. So thank you, ladies, for that experience. It was really awesome.
Thank you. We loved Minneapolis so much. It was like totally one of our favorite shows.
Yeah, what did you like about it?
The people in Minneapolis, but also in the Midwest in general, they're nice. They're nice and they're genuine and I don't know, just like so many hugs afterwards. And what I loved about that crowd in particular is often we'll get a crowd that's pretty into the poetry or the comedy, and you guys were you were so easy to make laugh, but with the poetry pieces, you were there with us the whole time.
Yeah, definitely. I liked how you said that we were genuine because I don't like when people say Minnesotans have the Minnesota nice or they're kind of fake, because I do think like a lot of people are genuine, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So how would...
So, our standard.
Yeah.
Well, I love New Jersey, but yeah, it's a different vibe. People don't have time to connect with you, the same way necessarily. And there's so much going on, especially we live so close to Manhattan. There's just so much going on. And so people, when they say they're going to go to something, I don't know. It's a different vibe. Yeah, it's a very different vibe.
So how would you ladies describe what you do?
Well, in the beginning, we started off by saying Slam Up is where poetry meets comedy. Then we kind of went further. It's where poetry meets comedy, meets improv, meets crazy. It's an emotional ride. As you said, the show it was designed to make you laugh, but to also stir the soul, to touch on truths. That's the big thing. We try to tell the truth, and sometimes the truth is really funny, and sometimes it's really heartbreaking, and sometimes it's both. Yeah.
Amen. Yeah. So how did you guys get started with what you do?
Emily, as folklore has it, Emily messaged me about a year ago being like, let's go on tour together. So we both loved performing, and we both loved traveling, and I, not having anything else to do with my life, was like, sure. And long story short, within a couple of months, we started booking shows before we even had any material together. But it was good. It made us, we brainstormed, and a lot of the show, our first project, is pieces we've created already that we added our own little nuances to.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like a collage. Yeah, that's a good word for it. But yeah, we love to travel, we love to perform, we love to share, we love meeting new people, we love sharing our work. And we also, the thing that inspired, I think, both of us was going to Bonnaroo last June. And that was my first big music festival. Was it yours? Yeah. It was just a very inspiring experience to just see all of these people performing at such a high level, and just, such a cool vibe, and wanting to be a part of that. Yeah.
Good. Awesome. So one thing I thought was funny and truthful about what you guys were performing about is you had, I think, a couple of times where you were mentioning breakups or messy relationships. So tell me about those.
Well, I guess that's what, we decided to do our show about love for this first tour where we met you, because it is something so universal, and we both had experiences with that. And I think with breakups, it's funny when you look back. Yeah. When it's happening, it's usually not funny. Yeah. But
It's a perfect thing. I mean, what you said, people can relate to it. Like most people have had breakups in their life, and there's so many variations of it. It's honest. Like what we say, our pieces about breakups we've been through it.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, well, and specifically to me, what's so interesting about love and breaking up is that it's, when you're in love with someone, they become your whole world, and they can do no wrong, and that's what love is. Nobody's perfect, but you just,
think they are.
Yeah, you think they are, and you think that, well, they get me, and I get them, and especially, I don't know about you, but for me, my first love, I just thought, you've never had it before, so you think you'll never have it again, and this has to be it, and so you make all these plans, and
that's what Don't Care.
Yeah, our song "Don't Care What You Say" is about my first series of breakups. It's more than one time.
So how many times did you go back and forth then?
At least three.
At least three.
Maybe four. Yeah, and that's the whole premise of that song is "Don't care what you say." That's me talking to my friends who are saying, please don't get back with her. But I didn't care, because for me, it was just, and the fucked up thing is she was going between me and another girl. So it was from any outside perspective, it was fucked up. But for me, it was like, well, she has issues. She's trying to work them out, and I can't abandon her. She had a hard life. I was making all these excuses, because that's to me what's so frightening but beautiful about love is you'll just,
you'll get it on the other side.
Yeah, but that's the craziest thing. It totally distorts reality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that song is all true.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
our whole show is truthful.
Yeah, it's all based on.
Obviously, we exaggerate a little bit for the comedy, but I mean it all. And I think that's why. I hope that's why people like what we do, because we're not going up and telling other people's stories.
Yeah, that's ours. Yeah, I mean, even the herpes one.
Even the herpes one. Yeah, they have a song about herpes too.
I don't have herpes. Let's see.
Yes, is this also based on a true story? You said everything is based on.
This is a funny one. So I was in love with this girl. It was long distance, and how explicit can I get on here?
Whatever you want.
Okay. I'll tell you the whole story. This is going on YouTube. This is going on YouTube. Well, basically, okay. So we were long story long. It was long distance, and for a week she didn't talk to me, which that's pretty crazy. And so then when she finally got back in touch, I said, well, what's going on? She said, oh, I think I have herpes, and I think you gave it to me. And I said, what? Okay, and it was just crazy. And then that's kind of how we ended things. Text messages and a herpes accusation.
Now I want to listen to that song again.
It's on Bandcamp. The whole CD is only $5.
Crazy.
Ed education with the herpes track. So.
What about you, Callie? What about breakups?
Breakups? That's the crazy thing about me is I've never actually been in a legitimate relationship. I get into these very convoluted situations with people, and I'm kind of more the lonely.
But can I just say though, but that's the thing. You don't need to be in an official relationship to have a relationship. If you're being physical and you're communicating a lot, that's a relationship. You know what I mean?
You're in relations.
Yeah. Call each other girlfriends, but there was,
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you listen to my contributions to the things, they're mostly kind of getting over myself and putting myself out there and opening myself to people, to interact with people, because it's pretty ironic. I'm a pretty shy person when it comes to that stuff, even though I air all my dirty laundry out on stage.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been a really cool experience for me because I technically wasn't. This is totally sidetracking, but I wasn't really even out among a lot of people, and I kind of just went on this tour and was like, hello. It was really convenient actually because I never had to have that conversation with anyone.
Nice.
But yeah, for me, the love side is kind of like finding myself, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, with Emily's situation, it's interesting because we can see our friends and mess up relationships sometimes, but I think sometimes they need to have those experiences. They kind of need to feel that and have that crash and burn to really learn that lesson and to understand where their boundary is for the next person.
Yeah, exactly. And the lesson with Don't Care What You Say is that, you can tell, it really comes down to the person to make the decision. Everyone has to, like you said, everyone will hit their breaking point, but unfortunately, usually it has to be a discovery you make for yourself. And hopefully, as was the case in my situation, you'll have good enough friends that, despite the fact that you ignored their warnings and advice, they'll take care of you when shit hits the fan and you're a hot mess. Yeah.
So you've learned your lesson from your first relationship?
Kind of. It's First few.
It's always hard. I mean, people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Emily was saying. That's the whole thing about love is like, and I think what you learn is to listen better to the people around you.
Mm-hmm.
But also listening to yourself. My big thing, red flags. You
gotta pay attention to it.
Those red flags, unfortunately, are usually accurate, and that's the dangerous thing too about love and attraction is when you're really attracted to someone, you are willing to sort of overlook, those very, very clear warnings. And so I think for me, part of the maturing process has been, okay, being more aware of those red flags. And also, I don't know, as I'm getting older, I don't have time to fuck around as much as I did in college. No, yeah, and to me, it's just, do I want to really give someone my time, not respecting the time, and respecting me? Looking at it that way, it's a lot easier. But I think, everyone has to kind of figure out what their boundaries are, what they want. So
I think it's easier to over-attach ourselves to somebody in the first couple relationships too, because we just lose ourselves and we forget that we are a person and that we can have independence and we can still do things and still be in a really great relationship. And I think that's why it always makes that first breakup so much more traumatic than the rest.
Well, what Emily was saying too, the first one, it's like you don't realize that this is going to happen again. Like, and you know what I mean? Like, your first love, it's so new and you've never experienced that before.
Yeah.
You don't believe that, like, it's possible to happen with another person because you're just,
And you think the world is going to end. I know that's what happened to me with my first relationship. I knew the world wasn't ending, but I still felt like it was for maybe about a year after. And
it's crazy. Well, because it's really like, not to be melodramatic, but when you break up, it's like they're dead. Like they're alive, but they're like dead in your life. It's like it's a mourning process.
It's a loss, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had my traumatic breakup a very long time ago, over 10 years or more, 14, 15, I don't remember. But, since then I've been working with women through healings and coaching, and that's why I was finding that so many young women were just getting stuck after a relationship, and they weren't learning those lessons. They weren't growing in the ways that they needed to in order to attract a better partner. So they were either like attracting people that weren't good for them, or they were just saying no more, you know what I mean? And I think it's such an important thing when you're going through a breakup to do that mourning process and that healing in a healthy way, so that way you can become stronger at the other side, because so many people don't.
Yeah, it is scary. There's sort of you can either there's sort of two outcomes. It can make you stronger, or it can sort of send you on a downward spiral.
Mm-hmm.
But but that's the thing. you can always go back. You can always go in either direction. It's never, permanent. At least that's what I tell myself. And friends, I mean, that's the thing. If you remember, we end our show with a friendship poem.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really, we chose that topic because, why is it, and not everyone is like this, but, I've dated a lot of shitty people, but my friends are always solid and amazing. And it's like, why can't I choose my partners the way I choose my friends?
Mm-hmm.
It's so strange that there's this disconnect.
And also for us, like for me, that piece is so important is because we kind of realize it's like, I have all these like angsty love pieces about these people that like made me feel really shitty. And I've never written a love poem to my friends who are the reason I got through those experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, just that, and like, I don't know, going back to what we write is, if you don't have people in your life like that, at least you can find, I mean, that's what music is, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's pieces, I don't know about you, but I have pieces that are very essential to certain parts of my life that I listen to on repeat because that was a voice in my head that was like, they know what I'm feeling right now.
Sure.
So tying together with art.
Yeah. And actually, it's funny, I was, this summer I volunteered for a little bit at a cupcake place run by these two badass ladies, and they're in their 60s, and they've been best friends for like 20, 30 years, and we performed the friendships poem for them, and they were saying like, yeah, for a lot of women, it's your girlfriends, it's your friends who get you through the shit in life. Like one of them is divorced, and like, her best friends were the ones who, carried her through, and hopefully, I think it's possible to find a romantic life partner who is like a friend. But
yeah, a lot of that has to do with your self-love and self-worthiness.
Yeah.
And that's often why we attract other people in our life. And sometimes it's not necessarily a bad thing to have those relationships with people you're like, why am I in this? But you're attracted to them for a reason. And if you have that higher awareness, because I've had this in the past, in recent years, where I'm like, why am I in this right now? And I'm like, oh, I'm really learning about unconditional love, or I'm really learning about how to be vulnerable with someone that I know will hurt me. But I think as long as you follow your intuition and say, okay, now I need to get the hell out of here, as long as you get out in time, then I think you can really come out of it with valuable lessons. And because the people that we meet are really teachers.
Yeah, it's true. That's so true.
Mm-hmm. So if we can open up our hearts more, then it's easier to attract a better partner. But I mean, because you're still attracting those really great friends, which is honestly, some people don't have really great friends. Sometimes they have friends that treat each other poorly. So it's still a step in the process. Yeah. You guys are all, I can tell with the look in your eyes, thinking all deep about life.
I was just saying, what you just said kind of goes back to what you said earlier. It's like young women, they get stuck after a relationship, and it's because they don't have that higher awareness, and they don't realize that like what they can get out of that experience can be positive and can make them grow as a human, and they just focus on how that person brought them down.
Yes, absolutely.
Spiral happens, and it's like it's all about how you interpret the situation and how you handle it. It's all easier said than done.
yeah, well, because it's hard. Because when you get dumped, it's like, well, how can you not take it personally and attach it to self-worth? Because they're rejecting you. They're saying, well, I don't want to be around you anymore and spend time with you. So it's, and obviously it's more than that, but it, it's,
yeah, it still hurts.
yeah, definitely. But being honest, that's something else that I've noticed as I've gotten older. Honesty and simplicity in communication. If you're gonna, communication. It's one thing to be dumb and to really just, okay, let's not do this. But to be ignored, that's the worst. I think flat out just, that and ignoring, that's.
Yeah. But when you work on that self-love and self-worthiness, that that when those things happen, it's easier to accept it because you're just saying, all right, this is what is the universe going to bring me next? Because if this is the end of that door, I think it's so easy to get caught up in attachments, especially in our culture. We're just kind of encouraged or at least expected to have over attachment to things and to people. And, you know, I mean, what do you guys think about the way our society teaches us about breakups too? I feel like you're just saying they teach us that it's like a failure. You know, you look at all the things that went wrong.
Yeah, totally. Well, because it's also, you know, there's a whole like genre of romantic comedies. You know, everyone, for so many people, it is a huge goal in life to have a life partner, to have kids, and you know, especially in your 20s, that's sort of the key time. They say, you know, where you're supposed to be.
It literally solicits applause. Like I went to a Tony Bennett concert with my mother recently.
Awesome.
Winner was his daughter, of course, named Antonia Bennett.
Yeah.
Okay, didn't have any original songs, but her biggest applause was she was like, well, I'm going to sing something happy because I've been married for a year and a half. It wasn't even like she just got married. Like,
yeah.
She's been married for a year and a half, and everyone applauded. And I'm like, sitting there like, what? I mean, the way her, it's crazy. I don't know. And she said she had just broken up, though, you know?
Oh.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I think our culture really does play into how we view things. It's not, the emphasis isn't on community, it's on just the nuclear family, and, you know, kind of having that just perfect, life, the 9-to-5 thing, you know, that's the norm. And, you know, I think it is changing, but in terms of mainstream, it's a lot of the stuff is about love and about, you know, finding love.
I think we all have a yearning to find love. Sometimes we shut it off. I shut mine off for like 6, 7, 8 years because I was like, you know, I just want to focus on other things. And I was fine, so I was content with it. And then I started, you know what, I think, you know, I am getting older. I think I do want someone really special in my life. So I think we all have that yearning. I think it's just easy to get really disappointed when you look at relationships as a failure.
You hear that?
A little bit, but I can hear you fine.
Okay, you're wait, this is so weird.
I am a robot.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I don't know, at least for me, sometimes it's, you might want it, but you're really not in the right place.
Yeah.
You know? And that's sort of when you have to, like, be real with yourself and hopefully have that self-reflection and, you know, because then you can hurt someone else, too. Not just you getting hurt, but if you're not totally in it.
What was that song, speaking of love, what was the song you guys, I think it was a song that you guys did about, it was about love, of not loving, doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman, it's just love. I remember the gist of it, I don't remember the words.
Yeah, that was one of, that one kind of came from me, I wrote it after I was with the first woman that, and I just was like, I was very dealing with labels and like, what do I identify with? So that came out of that time in my life, because, I mean, it really doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, that's what people, they get caught up on the outside, and it's just, you know, who are you attracted to as a human?
Just connecting with their soul, with who they are.
Yeah, totally. I mean, because isn't that what it's like actually about?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I loved hearing that, because I mean, I've heard things similar to that, but not in an artistic way like that, and just really expressing just really expressing that truth that not many people talk about, you know, not many people even say that.
Yeah. Well, if you like it, like we said, it's all on Bandcamp now, and iTunes.
Bandcamp and iTunes. So
Spotify.
Oh, Spotify too.
Our music is in the music universe. You just gotta look for it, that's all.
Do you guys know that's something we all have in common? We have less hair on at least one side of our head.
Asymmetrical haircuts.
That's why I asked you guys to hang out with me.
Oh, next time, Janelle. Next time. Yeah, we just got a review. It was we got several reviews from our show. And
You're talking about Fringe Festival in New York?
Fringe Festival, yeah.
Okay.
And actually, in context of the piece you were just talking about, goodbye labels, this girl spent a lot of the review talking about my hair. I know, it was very not totally appropriate, but just talking about how, people talk about prejudging, and like if you look at one side of my head, you think you have like a certain amount of expectations about me, and if like my entire head was blue and cropped cut, it would be another story.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me what you guys have coming up. Because you guys went on your tour before. Is that mostly in the Midwest?
It was all over the country. We sort of did a convoluted heart around the USA, and we went to Montreal as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pretty...
a lot of miles.
Yeah.
It was 3 months, 29 states. And so now we're doing just an East Coast tour. We're keeping it local. Relatively, I think we're doing like 2/3 of the time and like 1/5 of the distance. So
Can you name all of those cities right now? In case people are listening.
Yeah.
As fast as you can. Just kidding.
We have New York, obviously, our hometown. Then we have New Haven, Connecticut, Middletown, Connecticut, Providence, Rhode Island, a couple shows in the Boston area, Jamaica Plains, Somerville, Massachusetts, Portland, Maine. We have 2 sets in Portland. There's about 30. You want me to name them all?
Sure, as fast as you can, go.
What?
I said sure, as fast as you can, go.
Okay, let's do this. Okay, so we got Portland, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Manchester, New Hampshire, Burlington, Vermont, Brattleboro, Vermont, Northampton, Massachusetts, Purchase, New York, New Brunswick, New Jersey, Baltimore, Richmond, Carrboro, North Carolina, Greensboro, Wilmington, North Carolina, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Greenville, North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, Charlottesville, Washington, D.C., Middletown, Connecticut, again at Wesleyan, and Philadelphia. Oh, and then there's Dover, Delaware in there.
Awesome.
Everyone always forgets about Delaware. It's a state.
Awesome. So tell me about that shirt that you can get, or tank top we can get with your album.
Oh, potlucks before hot fucks.
Yep, that one.
So they're super sexy. They're handmade, and they're pretty much like snowflakes. Each one is unique.
Ooh.
Has a slightly different, color combo. They're amazing. They're tank tops, neon green tank tops, and orange tees, perfect for Halloween.
Yeah. And they're made with love, and they help support, the money goes towards our gas tank pretty much. So, and we have other shirts as well.
Yeah, and you can find all of those at slamup.org/store.
Mm-hmm.
/store. All right. What else do you guys have on your website that people may be interested in?
Our music is there. All of our tour dates are there.
Some fun photos of us.
Our bios with some links to some articles, and just contact information if you wanna contact us.
Yeah, you can email us, Facebook us.
Got relationship problems? We will totally let you know.
We'll totally let you know.
Yeah,
So,
you were there. You remember, Bo.
Yep, I do.
Relationship guru.
I feel like that you guys, it could be a good idea if you started doing videos with the blog and answering relationship questions.
We We know it. We need to. We absolutely need to. It's, yeah.
Yeah, we should have people should email us their fucking questions.
Relationship questions.
And then we can answer them.
As Bob and Emily.
Yeah.
They were Sharon and Karen. You remember?
Yeah.
Minneapolis was Sharon and Karen's big debut.
Hi. I'm so glad you're gonna share and care this little chit chat.
You know, I'm all about Sharon and Karen, so yeah, that's why I'm totally gonna share this video everywhere and have all your links on the screen, in the description. Because I know you guys will share and care for me too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you're our friend.
And if you're ever hungry, you can go to the Sharon and Karen Soup Kitchen in Minneapolis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's our soup kitchen, but not really.
Yep, not really. When you're in Minneapolis it is.
The other day, we were so committed to it that my friend was like, wait, really? What did you say? Yeah, we were just like, he was like, really? And we were like, no, we don't actually have a
What else do you guys want people to know about you, ladies? Wonderful ladies.
Yeah, check out our CD, check out our tour dates, email us.
Yes, just, if you know anyone from Maine to South Carolina, just let them know. And yeah, we're just trying to get our stuff out there and
share and care.
Everyone, like you said, we're all in this together. Like, that's our whole thing,
Sharing our stories and, almost like being there for people, like I said, referring back to the music thing, being there for people who don't necessarily have really great friends, like, we don't want it to be superficial. We're sincere in our work and having ears and listening, and so.
Yeah, I definitely felt that. So if people want to feel inspired and laugh a lot and feel the support of new friends like Sharon and Karen, they can check out your tour.
Yeah.
And that's obviously why I reached out to you guys, because I felt like you guys were also all about the lady empowerment, and I liked your style, and I thought we could chat about some cool things. So
yeah, this has been so great.
Next time we're in Minneapolis, we'll definitely
we'll hang out in real life.
Exactly.
I want to go back so bad.
Yeah, well, we actually, we should be back there in February.
Okay.
We just need $3,000. So figure that out.
Yep. Well, we're gonna share this video a lot, and you guys are gonna get a lot of album sales because your songs are awesome and hilarious, and yeah. Thanks so much for hanging out.
Thank you
And
so much.
yeah, we'll definitely hang out soon.
Yes. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.